I hope you guys are ready for the latest scoop in the collectible world, my friends. The company above PSA, they just announced that they are acquiring Beckett as well. What does this mean for the community, my friends? With all the bad news about PSA lately, and then now all of a sudden Beckett is joining PSA? Oh, what does this mean? What can we expect in 2026? First of all, my friends, if you like the content, do click the like button, subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. And PSA, okay. What can we expect? So the official press release is here. So it was only a few hours ago. The company Collectors, which is the holding company above PSA, they announced that they acquire Beckett. But they clearly said everything will remain the same. The name Beckett will continue to exist, but they already informed that Beckett will remain an independent brand within the Collectors family of companies. They will continue to operate with its own operations, customer experience, and standards around grading, marketplace, magazines, and price guides. What does this mean? Telling now something today is one thing, but they could still change their minds next year. It wouldn't be the first time, but if you now take a look, what does this mean? All those PSA lovers bashing on Beckett, now you gotta stop. You clearly gotta stop. Come on, my friends. So now, PSA and Beckett, they are spooning in bed. So stop bashing on Beckett. Does this mean that value of graded cards will change? Could be. Could Beckett become more popular? Could be. Yeah, but you also now need to understand, PSA is gonna learn from Beckett, and Beckett is gonna learn from PSA. Because they are going to work together. It could be good news, but it could also be bad news, because we know Beckett has Black Label. And Black Label is a step up than a PSA 10. We all know that. Imagine that now PSA comes with a Black Label, because they learn the standards, the way of grading from Beckett. Who knows? Who knows? Will we see the name Beckett continue in the next years? For the moment, yes. But it will be, difficult to predict. We have seen it with SGC that also something in the back is going on, but there is also some news about that. Here we have some news. In February 2024, the Collectors holding company, they acquired SGC, and now they are acquiring Beckett. But in the beginning, when they acquired SGC, they also said SGC will remain independently. SGC had been growing from 2020 to 2024, and they were gaining some market share and things like that. But in February 2024, the announcement came that Collectors would be buying SGC. So, and they immediately let the community know that it would remain independently, much like they did today about Beckett. However, now in July 2025, so a bit over 1 year, they announced that the former president and CEO was stepping down. And due to that, they were starting to change a little bit on how they would continue SGC. So they continued to operate independently, but the news came out that Collectors would be diverting some resources from SGC, and they are transitioning the once number 2 grading company into a boutique shop. Numbers don't lie, and shortly after Steinberg stepping down, submission numbers to SGC started to drop. This is now a report from last week. We can see here clearly PSA almost graded 1 million cards in a fucking week. Oh, up 15%. TGC minus 3%, 122,000 cards. Beckett, a lot lower. We need to address the situation here. There is an elephant in the room. 18,600. Okay, and then we have SGC and Tech, which is that's the fifth wheel of the car, I think. That's the fifth wheel. Will that ever pick up? I don't know. But now we need to check out. They said that in February 2024 about SGC. And now they are saying the same thing about Beckett. That makes you think. And that makes you really, really think. The name Beckett will remain to exist. SGC also still exists for the moment. But that it could go two directions. If Beckett would be diverted up and kind of workways would be stolen and addressed to PSA, like Black Label, for example, that could be a benefit for the PSA huggers over there. Yeah. You know who you are. And perhaps the Beckett slabs in the future will become unique. If Beckett stops to exist completely, there are several possibilities. But with PSA now bad in the news lately, with the scandals, with PSA working together with GameStop, all the buyback shit and things like that. Yeah, we are at a possible turn point. In a turn point, I mean, if shit really hits the fan with PSA, the whole grading scene could be affected. Because you cannot deny, come on my friends, look at this graph. PSA and Beckett and SGC, owned by the same company. 3 companies in this top 5 are from the same holding. 3 companies. How do we call that? It's a monopoly. It's a clear monopoly. Now we just have CGC on place number 2. How long will that remain? Will PSA try to buy CGC in the future? Could be. But what I don't understand is, how is this even allowed? How is it even allowed that PSA could acquire Beckett, SGC? What are they going to do in the future? Buy tech? To have those AI experiences with grading? That's why the one of the slogans of the channel is, it's all a shit show. This is a shit show, my friends. What the hell are we doing? Grading has become owned by one group, collectors group. They own PSA, Beckett, SGC, and who knows what in the future. I don't know what you think about it, but this is dangerous. Will it stop people from sending cards for grading? No, but PSA is definitely holding a monopoly. Plain and simple. They already had the largest market share, and it keeps growing. But not due to the cards that they are processing, but the companies they are acquiring, my friends. I'm very curious. What is your take on this? What do you expect for the community, for the cards, for the value, what do you think and expect for the near future? I think 2026 we won't see a lot. You need to take into account acquiring a business takes some time. The administrative part, getting approvals and all that shit, and then things like that, and then spreading that knowledge across the other business units, that also takes some time. But look now, SGC acquired in February 2024, and the change took place now in July 2025. So 1 year and 3 months, give or take. No, it's a bit more. Okay, calculation is not my best suit, apparently. So could a change become reality in 2027? Could be. I'm not looking forward to that, but yeah. So we already now know PSA is coming to Germany in the summer of 2026. Beckett is already in Germany. CGC is also in Germany, I think. Yeah, the grading companies are coming to Europe. Beckett and PSA will both be also available. Yeah, PSA will grow. 2026, PSA will grow. As I mentioned in my video from the day before, nobody will pay attention to the scandal of PSA recently. Nobody's going to pay attention. And to be honest, this news now about acquiring Beckett is going to put a complete shadow over the scandal. Everybody is now talking about the collectors group above PSA acquiring Beckett. That's the reality, my friends. That's the thing now. So they brought some bigger news out because everybody's making a video about it. Even me, this idiot, is even making a video about it because it's big news. It can have a big effect for the community, and now everybody will forget the scandal that happened. Yeah? In 1-2 weeks, nobody's talking about the scandal anymore because everybody will be discussing what will happen with the grading community, what will happen with Beckett, SGC, PSA rules the world. Yep, true. Unfortunately. So, yeah, it's we need to think about this. Yeah, well, there's not much to think about because other people had made the decision for us. We just gotta follow like stupid idiots like always. But okay, very curious to your opinion. Drop them down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell because in the near future I will provide some updates when there is more news and things like that. So you definitely don't want to miss that. Also, by the way, YouTube thinks you might like that video. Just click on it. Humor YouTube. Otherwise, YouTube will continue to bitch about it. So, and I'm out.